So click on this next one in the notes thing that I sent you. It's a Toyota link.
The
So-
Mira?
No, do you know what this thing is?
Wasn't the Mira like a... Wait a minute.
So this is a hydrogen electric car.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so this is a technology. I started looking into the technology and I'm like, wow, I wonder when they're gonna like implement this. And then Toyota was
Hydrogen.
like, hey, we sell it now. So
They sell it right now?
yep. Yeah, this thing exists right now. So I gotta find
76 miles per gallon
yeah.
estimate?
Okay, so how this thing works, it's crazy. So this is a diagram of the power core of this vehicle. So you pump in, I'm going to butcher all of this because I'm not a science person. I do not know the words for all of this stuff. I'm guessing on most of it. But from what I found, let me pull up this, how do hydrogen cars work? Essentially, you're filling the tanks in this car with hydrogen. Okay.
That's compressed, right?
I believe so. I think, yeah, let me find it in here.
Is this not like
Don't want to sound
CNG,
stupid.
like compressed natural gas? Is this something similar, you think?
Kind of. So let me read this. Let me read this line
Yeah.
to you because I looked this up a little bit because I was very confused on how this would all work. So because as I was reading on that, they were saying in the Toyota page, basically there's hydrogen in the vehicle. It pumps hydrogen up. It takes the intake air from the road. And there's a chemical reaction that happens between the hydrogen and the oxygen intaking from there that converts to electricity that runs the vehicle.
What?
And then the output of that whole thing is water. It spits water out. of
Did
the
I
car.
like go into a coma for a few years? This seems
That's
like
what I
way
thought.
further
Like,
technology
why
than we
don't I
have.
know this?
What
Like, wait,
happened?
because I saw an article about it and then I started reading into it because then I was just googling how it works and then Toyota was just like, hey, we sell it.
Yeah, they're
It's like,
hey,
well, wait,
over here.
and it's not like a concept car. Like there's like
No,
pictures.
this
and
is
stuff
like
of it.
you can build one.
So yeah, let me read this to
I
you.
don't
So
care about your touch screen.
I know.
Tell me about the
The
hydrogen.
whole page is that. They're like, we have a heads up display. I'm like, don't care. Can you tell me about the bombs under the back seat? So the fuel cell is a device that takes chemical energy in the form of hydrogen, turns it into electricity that can power the motor. Hydrogen powered car with an electric motor. How does it work? The hydrogen is stored in a tank that's thick walled and crash tested, usually under the rear seat, because otherwise it's a bomb.
No, literally, if you see I'm sure you saw the little diagram of it.
Yeah.
Like you're literally sitting on it.
Yeah, and it literally looks like the things that in Monsters Inc. they
It does look
capture
like
screams.
those the scream gas
thing, yeah.
things.
But
Yeah.
okay,
we know
so
your secret, Toyota.
So-
I saw that movie.
the hydrogen that's under the rear seat, it's mixed with air, pumped into the fuel cell. It's mixed with air and pumped into the fuel cell. Okay, so it is pressurized. I think that's what that means.
Yep.
Inside the cell, chemical reaction extracts electrons from the hydrogen. The leftover hydrogen protons move across the cell and combine with oxygen and from the air and produce water. Meanwhile, the electrons create electricity, which charges a small storage battery used to power the electric drivetrain. So that's what I was trying to find. This type of vehicle is called a fuel cell electric vehicle, FCEV, as compared to the battery electric vehicles, BEVs, that exist right now.
Weight, I'm guessing, is a huge advantage on these because you don't
Right.
need all that battery storage.
And especially that would be, I guess it must be compressed. Then it must be compressed
I
hydrogen
would
that you're
guess
putting
so,
in.
yeah.
So you're
'Cause it said,
talking
how do
about
I
like,
fill it?
giant propane tanks essentially filled with compressed gas versus a, that doesn't look, oh, it does kind of look compressed. I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm such an idiot with this right now.
Well, it is different
Looks a lot like a gas station.
because it looks like
Hydrogen.
it locks. It probably like self locks on.
That clamps onto the car. Once a seal has been made, the hydrogen gas starts filling the tank of the
Yeah.
car. It's gas. But yeah, I thought this was nuts. Like I thought it was
Wow.
crazy that this is a thing, and then also Toyota's like, hey, like you want to build yours now? But yeah, I had no clue. I had no clue this existed. Because I remember joking about this. I'm like, why couldn't we figure out cars that run on air and then they spit out water? Like I remember
This is
saying
a car
that,
that
when we were
runs
younger.
in air and spits out water.
It literally is. It creates water.
Out of stock.
Really? Is that what it says?
Actually, fuel cell.
I want to know if there's any. It says that you can search like gas stations, or I guess hydrogen stations. Whoa, there's a lot. Why have I not seen a hydrogen station? Oh, because they're out in California.
There's one in Green Bay.
No, there's not.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, no way.
I think so. Are we gonna go visit one?
Oh, I'm on the same. No, I'm in a different one than you. Dude, look at
Oh
them.
no, you're right.
They're like all in Cali.
Okay.
Weird. And up in Washington
Yeah.
or the
And Canada, there's one.
Vancouver area.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I had no clue. Like looking at that car, the car actually, I'll be honest, looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
It looks like a better version of the new BRC.
Yeah, it looks like they used BRZ front end with a like big body sedan. That's
Yep.
what it looks like.
Yep. But yeah, it's just super, super interesting because like, and then that's the, so I guess my next question would be, I don't know what the cost of hydrogen per gallon is, or how do they measure that? Because how are they getting the, whatever they said, 70 something miles to the gallon?
Yeah. And it says it's
Yeah, 76, 71.
$15,000. Here comes with $15,000 or 6 years, whichever comes first, of complimentary fuel.
Wow. Because like this seems like I really like where all this stuff's going because the electric
Yeah.
car thing is very cool, but we're still running into like a power storage issue.
Right.
So like you can't do anything about that. So I wonder how clean it would be. Really interesting to see if you could capture the water that's being spit out from this and purify it and be able to use it for drinking water or something like that. Like that would be a really cool like collection system. So you
Yeah.
literally drive a car that produces clean drinking water. Like I wonder if that's something you'd be able to do, or if it like sheds water is just like it drips like a condenser on a humid day or something. Like I don't know if that's what it means. Or
I
if it
just
means it's
saw.
actually spitting water out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like how is it? Or is it
Yeah.
just vapor?
402 mile range.
That's why I would look. Yeah. That's not
like
that bad.
That's reasonable.
So it's a small tank, right? If it's getting 76 miles per gallon,
Yeah, I mean,
It
in
is-
theory, we can figure that out real quick.
what, 5 gallons?
Yeah, 402 divided by what did we say?
76.
76. Yeah, good math.
Yeah.
Yeah,
5.3 gallons. That's crazy.
So I mean, even if it cost,
And it's compressed gas, so it's not going to weigh that much.
yeah, it's not going to weigh hardly anything. So it's, I mean, you have the equipment of, and
Yeah.
it said somewhere in here that it's all like carbon fiber reinforced and it's all super durable, obviously, because you got to worry about leaking that out. But yeah, like actual, like this feels like the first, other than I don't know how they capture.
Surprisingly heavy.
That seems pretty light to me, actually.
4,300 pounds?
Well, yeah, but compare it to like any other electric vehicle on the market today.
Oh, that
You know
makes
what I mean?
sense.
Because like, I mean, even normal, like a regular, like what does a A6 weigh? Or what does like a Toyota Camry weigh? 2022 Camry weighs. Oh, it is less. Wow, they still only weigh 3,600 pounds. I thought they weighed more than that.
That's about as much as a Tesla Model S weighs. 4,600 pounds compared
Okay.
to 4,300 pounds.
Okay, so it is
So
pretty
it's
heavy.
saving that much weight.
Interesting.
That's interesting, right? Wouldn't you think that?
No.
But maybe
I
that
would've-
converter or whatever, that might be super heavy.
That
The
and the
tanks that
tanks.
are reinforced might be
Yeah,
super heavy.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true. That
so
is
you're not
surprising.
saving
You're
a
right.
ton on weight, but
That is, but dude, to get that recharge time is instant. You don't
Right.
have to sit at a supercharger and wait for that.
That
Just
is
pump
the
thing
key
in.
to this type of stuff.
Right.
Unless they can figure out how to dump that much energy and the
Right.
time it takes to fill a gas tank
Right.
in something like an electric car,
Right.
then this type of technology could be like, it could be paired because you could still
Right.
have a big battery,
Right.
and a small thing like this that
Right.
trickle charges it essentially.
Yeah, I mean, then you're in like I know not really, but kind of like Prius territory where it like
Right.
uses the battery and stuff for certain activity, and
Yep.
then others it's going back to the
Like you
regular
can
drivetrain.
go EV
Yeah.
only,
Even the what's the 4xe Jeep that we talked about a while ago,
right? Yep,
like that
similar
the
type
hybrid
of,
Jeep, like same kind of a thing. So if you started combining those technologies together, but yeah, I thought this because right now that's like it seems like that's the bottleneck to like anything electric is just how fast. I mean, even we didn't even talk about SEMA. I was at SEMA last year, but like
so much to cover.
golly, when we were there, like they were drifting one of the Mach-E Mustangs. And
Really?
yeah, so they had like the what do they call it? The Burnyard, I think. And the in the Burnyard they had like the Mustangs, and so they'll do tandem drifting in Mustangs. They'll let people come and sit in and go with it. And they had like a Baja truck, but then they had the Mach-E, so they take people in it. And it was the weirdest thing to listen to drift because it just sounded like a spaceship. You just heard tires
Yeah,
and then like
right.
a weird, literally like a Jetson sound. But they drift that thing around, but they could do, you know, a few laps around, do some drifts, do some like 0 to 60s or whatever, and then go back over and sit on whatever. I don't know what freaking fast charger they have there to get that thing back up. But it'd have to sit there and wait and recharge and stuff. But like, dude, something like this, I would wonder what it had said it had that short-term battery storage. Like, I wonder what kind of like what performance numbers are we getting out of
And
this?
how immediate is the power delivery out of that
Right.
conversion? Like,
Right.
is it short storage battery because that takes a long time
Right.
to trickle and get it there?
Yeah, and does it matter, like, does speed on the highway, is it more efficient at converting versus, like, with more airflow coming
Right.
in, or is it, like, what does that look like? Like, I would love to see, like even Toyota, if they get their TRD team like working on this and like see
That's what I was thinking.
like, hey, what could they do in the motor store? Because like that's what like Audi back in. I was looking it up because actually with all of this, I was trying to find other alternatives,
Yep.
and I was like, I wonder if anybody, because we've always teased them like, why don't people do more diesel electric stuff, like that kind of a
Right.
generator situation,
Yep.
and that's what the what do they call it? The R18. Audi that was in like 2016. Their Le Mans car was a diesel electric hybrid,
I didn't know that.
and it won for like X number of years till I think Porsche won it back after that, and they're doing some other hybrid thing. But like they started doing that kind of stuff, and then now they're in the e-tron and they're doing whatever they are. But it would be really interesting to see this. I imagine motorsport regulation around like putting like compressed hydrogen in your car is probably different.
You
But
never know though, right? Because think about like race cars have. Well, maybe I don't know this. I thought I knew what I was talking about until I started the sentence. Do race cars have safer or less safe fuel storage? Don't they usually have a smaller, like fuel cell?
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
But is that more reinforced?
oh yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, those have to meet, as far as I know anyway, those have to
They
meet
have to meet
like very
different
strict guidelines, and I think they have to be integrated or put at least in a certain place, like to be accessible.
Okay.
And then all the
I
fuel
might be
cutoff
thinking
and
of
everything
like race cars that I've seen, like
Yeah.
people I know and
Yeah.
stuff
like guys
who
ratchet
are just
strapping their fuel
building.
cell in the trunk.
I'm gonna
kind
be
of
thinking
thing.
like rat rods and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That might be
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
That could be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was
that-
gonna say if it can just be a regular compressed air
Yeah.
tank, then not but something that's lighter weight and smaller.
Right.
If it's only for racing, right?
Right.
And you don't need 400 miles of range. If
Right.
you need 50
Right.
miles of range or whatever.
Well, yeah, you only need enough to sustain the engine to the battery to like keep it at a certain level.
And if it's a compressed air tank that's small enough,
Right.
Quickly they change tires rather
Right.
than sitting and filling one. If
Right.
you can quick disconnect and
Right.
quick connect the compressed air tank,
right.
you can just have a little setup that does that. There's just go
Yeah.
pss, pss,
I would
pss,
imagine,
and
right?
you're going again.
It's a cutoff valve and a purge valve, and then you can
Right.
pull the thing off, put the new one in.
Yep.
But it'd be interesting to see, because we just determined this is only a 5-gallon tank total. That
Right.
doesn't seem right. That seems like so much more
I
tank
wonder
than that.
if
Unless
not.
those are the converters. Why? What do you mean?
Oh, you know what? That would lead to it being smaller. I was just thinking if that short-term battery storage, if they're counting like, all right, that's already full,
Yeah,
and we get 100 miles off of that short-term battery, for example.
sure.
But that would mean there's less fuel storage.
Yeah,
That,
I don't know.
The size of that though looks at least 5 gallons,
because it
if
could.
not more.
Yeah, unless we don't know what we're looking at here.
It's possible.
Because a 5-gallon isn't a propane tank. That's different. They're measured differently. I'm thinking of pounds. I'm not thinking of gallons. Yeah, but I mean 5 gallons doesn't seem.
We
I
might
don't
be
know.
thinking of it incorrectly altogether because
We
it's compressed.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we definitely are. You're right. Yeah, that seems right.
That's
for
right.
5.
Hey, that was really interesting though.
Yeah, I thought that
had
was
no
super
idea
cool.
that existed.
Yeah,